Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Steven with Freeze Peach Gaming, and today we're looking at some Libs of TikTok. This is probably one of the funniest pages on Twitter right now. In fact, Twitter doesn't really have much that's funny. If you want funny, go look at Instagram. That's where you'll see some actual funny stuff. One of my personal favorites being kids getting hurt. Kids getting hurt is it's amazing. They need to have a kids cussing channel on there too. That would make my day. I would live on Instagram to. All right, first up we've got this thing here. We're going to be taking a look at. All right, let's go.
Let's talk about the use of guys as a gender-neutral term. For a lot of trans and non-binary folks, being referred to in this way triggers their dysphoria. And people will say, oh, I call all my friends...
All right, that didn't take long, about 8 seconds for me to have to call some... One, guys is a gender-neutral term. That is an entirely regional thing. Where I grew up, well, not particularly where I grew up, they use both guys and y'all and all sorts of stuff in sort of the mid-Atlantic region. They'll use all sorts of catch-all terms, but personally, I always used guys as gender-neutral, and so I had a personal experience with this when I moved to the South, and I was waiting tables. I go up to the table, I said, good evening, guys, how are you doing? My name's Steven, I'll be taking care of you today. Can I start you guys off with something to drink? And immediately the woman there just crosses her arms and she starts scowling, and I'm thinking, I don't know what's up. I get her husband's order. He wanted a gallon of sweet tea, and I'm like, what could I get for you, ma'am? She's like, I'm not a guy. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't even realize I had said you guys. And she got all sorts of butthurt about it, and I just explained to her. I was like, look, where I'm from, I don't mean any offense, but where I'm from, we just say you guys. We don't say y'all. I've been saying it at that point in time for like 20 years. Like, I can't bring myself to just say y'all. It feels weird to me. I don't like it. I don't want to assume it's gender, so we're going to go with it. That's gender neutral, right? So it's saying that we might trigger people with gender dysphoria. Couple of problems with that. One, I don't think these people know what a trigger means. A trigger is something that could cause you to lapse into a state of being unable to function. You don't get triggered when you just get like mildly angry about something. This microaggression stuff, it's complete bullshit. And it doesn't have any sort of founding in, I'll just say, social sciences that aren't bullshit. But trigger is like when someone with PTSD has a flashback. Whatever caused that flashback, that is a trigger. Being mildly aggravated or offended by something isn't a trigger. Get over yourself.
Friends, guys, even my girlfriends. But your cis friends did not experience the trauma of being conditioned into a gender that is not theirs.
Alright, I gotta stop it again. Being conditioned into a gender that is not theirs. Why does that sound completely backwards to me? Is it just me, or are a lot of these people... Now, I'm not saying gender dysphoria doesn't exist. Gender dysphoria does exist, but it is a percentage of the population. There's no way that we have these massive amounts of people showing up all over the place that are suffering from legitimate gender dysphoria. They've been conditioned to believe that that will make them special, that will give them attention, and that is what they are doing. It has been conditioned into a gender that is not, assuming that's a man, his, biologically.
For me, I have stopped saying it because I realize the importance of degendering our language. Language matters. And
it's all about controlling the language. Got to control the language. That's all any of this stuff is about. Has nothing to do with not offending people. It's about controlling what you say so they can control what you think, so they can control what you do.
Words that we use inform the way we see the world. There are literally studies on this. So when we consider words like guys to be gender neutral and not girls or ladies, this fuels the narrative that man is
What? Okay, like I said at the beginning, it's regional. Guys typically does mean you would be talking to a man, right? Hey guy, how's it going? You wouldn't walk up to a female friend and be like, hey guy, how's it going? Perhaps if there was more of a mix of people, you just do a crowd, like, hey guys, how's it going? It's certain people say that instead of y'all. Get over yourself.
Default. And this is the core of the patriarchy. Look, you can use whatever words you want, but we have to consider their impact. And if someone tells
So you can use whatever words you want, except if I don't think you should use those words.
You that the language you are using is hurting them, and you decide not to change because it is more comfortable for you, I think that says a lot about your character.
If you aren't able to take people saying certain words in front of you and you get offended by the mere things that people say, for instance, a pronoun. Look, I'm a guy with long hair. I get misgendered as a woman. Someone sees me from behind. I've had a cop do it. They walk up from behind a car while I was driving a convertible. It's like, hey, ma'am, how's it going today? And I turn, and at the time I had just mustache and goatee. And immediately he's just, oh, yeah, sorry about that. And it's cool, man. It's not the first time. And then he didn't write me a ticket because I was nice to him. And I'm white.
I love you.
I don't even know you. What are you doing saying you love me? I don't know you. Go away.
Medical fat phobia is honestly so pervasive. Like, I just went in, I'm getting...
Medical fat phobia? I'm sorry, did a doctor tell you that you're a fatty? And you should probably lose some weight? Look, I'm a bit of a fatty too. I will admit I am overweight and I should probably fix my habits. But I at least live in reality. I don't think that, having this extra tub on me is a good thing.
COVID test, flu test, whatever, I'm feeling really bad. And they had to do blood pressure test. You can't really see, but my arm is really red. Because they didn't have a blood pressure cuff that fit my arm.
That is a sign. When doctors don't even have equipment that fits your fat arms, you should probably lose some weight. That's what we call a red flag.
So in turn, first of all, it was painful. And second of all, they couldn't get an accurate
It's painful? Okay, blood pressure tests should not be painful.
read on my blood pressure. And this may just seem like a simple thing, but it's just so pervasive in the medical field and genuinely impacts like every visit.
Look, fat, look, here's the deal.
You're fat. Don't be fat. That's what the doctors are trying to tell you. Don't think that it's just okay to be fat because you think it's okay to be fat. It's not good to be fat. This is a well-known thing. It's beyond an axiom. It's just true. And now we're trying to generate axioms by controlling language. They're generating axioms to turn fat into beautiful and healthy. So now apparently you can be fat and healthy, even though those aren't contradictory.
Can we talk about how horrible it is to travel while being transgender sometimes? I always have immense anxiety leading up to going through security. And this being said, I totally recognize the privilege of having all...
Is it because they see I'm guessing this is one that passes, but probably still has a dong. So are they seeing your dong in there, and they're just confused because they're not terminally online, confused by seeing what appears to be a woman with a dick? This is probably the same kind of person that thinks that they should intentionally try and subvert men and trick them so that the man can be surprised, feel a dong when they go to reach downstairs, and then probably beat shit out of you.
All of my documents correct. So the gender marker on my license, for example, says female. But going through the scanner, there's a male scanner and a female scanner in the TSA checkpoint. And looking at me, I look like a woman, and I am a woman, so that's great. I love having cis-assuming privilege when I feel unsafe, such as in an airport. But going through the scanner, I always have an anomaly between my legs.
You feel unsafe in the airport. I mean, I guess I could understand that. We've had some problems with airports. Oh, look, I've got a helper kitty. I've got a kitty that's going to help me. She loves cuddles. Don't you, little kitty? You going to say something? No cats were harmed in the making of this video. What was I saying? Oh, yes, you feel unsafe in the airport where there's massive amounts of security, people aren't allowed to take guns in, there's no weapons allowed at all. You feel like this is the one place that a lib would feel safe because there is no chance of there being an unauthorized weapon in this area. Zero chance. You have to pass through the most stringent security, which is normally what they want, right? They want to take away everyone's guns. But no, not in this space where I should feel safe. Oh no, I feel emotionally unsafe. It's so tough to feel emotionally unsafe.
That sets off the alarm. And so she asked me if I had anything in my pants, and I told her no. And she's like, well, maybe it's just like the metal on your shorts, so let's scan you again. So I did, and then it set it off again. And I was like, look, I'm trans, just pat me down. And her solution was, do you want to be scanned as a man instead? I didn't, but...
That's the solution. That's the thing. These people, I've said it before, they don't want to live within nature. Their true nature, this biological man's true nature, is as a man. That is living within nature, recognizing that you are, in fact, male. So when something like this comes up, you don't have to pretend that reality doesn't exist and say, no, I'm a woman, even though you're a man, and the easiest solution to this is walk through the other frickin' scanner.
I ended up doing it, and then my boobs set off the scanner because, of course. So I tried to make a joke of it. I was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of plastic in there. It's fine. So then she was like, okay, well, we have to pat you down. And she was like, do you want a man to do it? I said, no, absolutely not.
Did you think that maybe the female TSA agent might have been a bit uncomfortable patting down what they may be assuming is a pervert? I'm not saying that all trans people are perverts, but people make these assumptions, especially people who aren't terminally online and see these things a lot. Well, that's all I have for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed our viewing of Libs of TikTok on Twitter. I don't even like saying the word. It's hard to get out. Twitter. I don't like any social media, really. I think it's rotting our brains at a cultural level. But I digress. I hope all of you have a wonderful day, and never be afraid to speak your mind.
What is red and bubbly and scratching at a window? Baby in a microwave! Oh, waka waka!